On the morning of Friday, September 17th, 2021, the body of a man was found in the front yard of a vacant home in Hallandale Beach, Florida. The man was identified as Wisdom Williams, who went by the name of Wiz the Wizard. He was a rapper who was once good friends with Kodak Black and was even signed to his record label Sniper Gang. Initially, his death remained a mystery with very little information being revealed. But while the authorities weren't talking, the streets were with rumors of a possible hit quickly circulating in the streets that eventually crept his way onto the internet. People were saying that Wiz the Wizard wasn't a random casualty of street violence. No, they were saying he was targeted by someone he knew, someone who was once very close to him, claiming the hit was ordered by none other than his close friend and boss, Kodak Black. While this is what the streets were saying, it didn't seem like it led to anything legally. For years, the murder remained unsolved and a suspect wasn't identified. But now that seems to have all changed, as new information has surfaced that might just prove Kodak paid to get rid of him, and even might have had another body as well. Today, I will show exactly why the internet has come to believe Kodak got rid of his own close friend of over 10 years. Hey guys, I hope all is well. Welcome back to The Truth is where I drop new videos exposing the truth weekly. In today's episode, we will be talking about Kodak's possible ties to the death of his former artist and friend of 10 years, Wiz the Wizard. Let's get right into it. On March 21st, 2021, Kodak dropped a song with his artist Wiz the Wizard and his cousin Wham, who were both signed to his label, Sniper Gang. The song was seen as one of their big debuts under the label. Kodak, Wiz the Wizard, and Wham could all be seen in the music video rapping alongside of each other. But little did they know that the man they were standing next to would be the cause of their demise. Just a few months after this music video dropped, Wiz the Wizard's body was found. Then just a few months ago in August of this year, Wham was also found dead. The one man standing in the center of it all was Kodak Black, with false signs pointing to him as the man responsible. The reason people believe Kodak had these men eliminated was due to issues he was having with Wiz the Wizard before his death and with Wham before his death. Both rappers publicly called out Kodak before the untimely passing. Wiz the Wizard's death was the most disturbing because he was so close to Kodak. According to Kodak, they were friends for over 10 years. When Kodak was pardoned by Trump in 2021, he was seen hanging out with Wiz the Wizard. He had signed with Wiz alongside of Wham and Psycho Bob when he got out of prison. What's Z10? Zone 10. Okay. Yeah. And you said Kodak shouted you out in the song. So y'all been cool. Yeah. That's my underscore. That's my underscore. Okay. So you got a Sniper Game change to Sniper Game? Underscore. Y'all let down though? All that. Yeah. All that. Okay. And this was after you got released or before? Nah, man. I've been Sniper Game, man. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Streetwise. I ain't no. You feel what I'm saying? Okay. But out of nowhere, tensions grew between the two, and it ended terribly for Wiz. The beef dates back to not long after they released that music video together. Wiz started calling Kodak out after another one of his artists, Jack Boy, had also called him out. Wiz had gone on social media complaining that Kodak had only signed him for $30,000 and that he wanted out of the deal. He then said he would buy out of his deal for $100K. I can't sign. I can't sign to the label because somebody blocking it. I got to get out this contract first. They don't want to let me out the contract. I'll buy myself out my contract. They don't even want me to buy me out the contract. I ain't even know I signed for $30,000. Whole time I signed for $30,000. I ain't even know it. I buy myself out my contract right now. They don't want me to do that because they know I'm pressure. You heard? They know if they let me go and pressure regardless. Kodak refused the offer and the situation worsened from there. But the contract I play with either way, it go we use 30, this will get a few dollars and feel like they rich know what I'm saying and go try buy all kind of and be broken a week and be begging again. You can't spend like you me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I could do that. I just want to buy the contract. Underscore, you avoiding anything else but that contract. You talking about anything but that contract, bro. We not beefing, bro. The world know that. Bro, you my brother, bro. It ain't that deep. We can link up and fight. If that was the case, it ain't that deep. We ain't got no problem with each other. Bro, you tripping, bro. I just want to get out my contract. What we doing? Eventually, the Wizard was full on dissing Kodak. I don't want to be your friend, your brother, your rap friend, none of that underscore man. Underscore have hoe-ass ways. Y'all have attitudes like females, man. Like girls, man. Should have had wrong with man. Y'all finished by man, that man. Y'all could all that mix me with why that business. That's dead man, most death. And living like that, I'm living like that, now I run and tell that. And the next thing you know, his body was found in front of an abandoned home nearby, where his brother's body was found some time back. He was hit multiple times in the head and back, and then his body was dumped in front of the house. Initially, people thought that what happened to was connected to a street beef he had with a man named HMT Trey and the Diana Hot Boys gang. But eventually the blame shifted to Kodak Black. The very next day after Wiz died, Kodak donated $20,000 to a charity. He gave a speech at this charity event where he mentioned Wiz the Wizard. Stuff like this allowed me to be a little peaceful for little speaking and stuff like that. The stuff with Jennifer. It touched me, because my beautiful girlfriend. She's accepting my daughter soon in a few months. So I put myself man, that's crazy. That could be anybody. And I just lost a friend, very close friend, we've been friends for over 10 years. I just lost him yesterday, and he got a beautiful baby girl too. So it's it's crazy I'm dealing with losing and loved ones and stuff like that. It's hard. I've been dealing with loss my whole life. My cousin's funeral was just yesterday too. So, it's crazy everybody put up with and deal with stuff in different ways and all that. At the end of the day, all we got. People saw this as odd because Wiz and Kodak weren't on good terms. People quickly realized Kodak was taunting and trolling W the Wizard's death, something he would continue to do from that moment on. Yeah, long live family. Long live that boy. You heard me. She got talking about long living. Long live. The streets quickly started talking, and it was being alleged that Kodak put a $20,000 bounty on Wiz Wizard's head. While this is what was spreading around, it was never proven. But that didn't stop Kodak from essentially confessing to being behind it in his own music. In 2022, Kodak dropped a song called I Wish, where he rapped some very suspicious lines that were seemingly about Wiz the Wizard. In the song, he rapped on my soul, I believe, Little Crick. I hate that I fell out with Wiz. You did what you did, so I did what I did. I don't lie, but I still and I kill. In this bar, Kodak was clearly talking about his issues with Wiz the Wizard. He clearly said Wiz's name and alludes to having done something to him, which is pretty obvious he's referring to getting rid of Wiz the Wizard because of something he did to him. Most assume that he did this because he was trying to get himself out of the deal, but the reality might be much darker. While Kodak was beefing with Wiz the Wizard, he was also having issues with his other artist, Jack Boy. It seemed Kodak wanted to do Jack Boy the same way he did Wiz the Wizard. So Jack Boy went live and told Kodak Black that he wasn't going to let him sacrifice him, alluding to the fact that Kodak has sacrificed someone else on the label. Let you out on some wild boy. You ain't about to sacrifice me, boy. Everyone saw this as Jack Boy alluding to Kodak's role in what happened to Wiz the Wizard, suggesting that Kodak's sacrifice was to continue to succeed, which is interesting because around this time, Kodak literally sent Jack Boy a coded threat, essentially telling him that what happened to Wiz the Wizard could happen to him if he didn't repair the relationship. After this, the beef only escalated as some people believe Kodak might have been behind an attempt on Jack Boy as he was ambushed, and another man close to him ended up being struck. Online feud between rappers Kodak Black and Jack Boy is now being blamed for bullets flying in Sanford. Both of these rappers are from the same neighborhood down in South Florida, and a shooting happened after a concert here at the barn last year, and this woman was killed. Thanks for joining us on this Monday. I'm Juan Sell, and I'm John Brown. Now 13 people are behind bars, and there's still one who's out there on the loose. Fox 35's Stephanie Buffont joins us live with that story today. So Stephanie, walk us through the motive here. So there was a public argument between two rappers on social media. Detectives believe a local gang wanted to prove themselves by shooting one of those rappers while they were performing here in Sanford, but ultimately 6 innocent victims were shot. Now, this photo that's coming up on your screen, this is Princess Toweaver. She was in that drive-by shooting. 5 others were hurt. The sheriff says rapper Jack Boy had a concert at the barn in Sanford back in January 2023. Jack Boy left in an SUV, and a group with him left in a Mercedes Sprinter van, and they were driving behind him on Reinhardt Road when the shots rang out. Jack Boy wasn't the only person to say this about Kodak. A man by the name of G1 the Dawn, who is Kodak Black's cousin, made a cryptic video that seems to be about Kodak. In the video, he referred to someone sacrificing their entire team. He even suggested that this person who was sacrificed his whole team knew what it signed up for. Tell why New Generation Man. You cannot go around sacrificing your whole team. The next thing you know, when you lonely, you go around and tweet about like you going through postpartum depression. Shut the up. You know what you were signing into. This is quite interesting, as Kodak literally had just been pardoned by the literal president of the United States. If Kodak wasn't in the club before that moment, he definitely was after that. His price for that pardon was likely an offering of a loved one, like a family member or a close friend. That friend could have been the Wizard, considering that Kodak basically confessed to in a song. And also both Jack Boy and Kodak's own cousin suggested he sacrificed his own artist. It's not far-fetched to believe that's exactly what happened, as Kodak has literally rapped about sacrificing his own people in his song called Testimony. In Testimony, WPD, I've sacrificed my people because none of my people see the best in me. They want me slinging metal like the devil, but I'm heaven sent. In another one of Kodak's song with Lion rapper Annual, Kodak literally raps about being evil and drinking blood, even though there was so much proof suggesting Kodak did it. He was never pursued criminally for the death of the Wizard. Instead, it seemed like he might have not been responsible after all, as eventually the Wizard's rival, HMT Trey, would be arrested in connection with the death of the Wizard in November of last year. Yeah, now, they arrested 8 suspected gang members wanted for murders and multiple shootings. Local 10 Bowick is live with the details of this months-long investigation. Sella, following this months-long investigation, the Broward Sheriff's Office making a big bust, arresting 8 gang members they say are violent. I want to get you straight to their mug shots. This has been a multi-agency effort. Again, all 8 gang members have been indicted on 33 counts that include charges of murder, attempted murder, and racketeering. The defendants are Sigmund Brown, Kavaris Johnson, Gerard Charles, Bondarius Davis, 16-year-old Roger Rowe, Tyreek Jackson, Jared McCabe, and Trayvon Key. This the authorities believe that he was the one who took out Wiz personally. To many, this seemed to completely clear Kodak from the situation. At least some people thought. But now recently, some information was revealed that seems to prove Kodak had some involvement in this. Recently, the YouTuber 1090 Jake, who is known for digging up paperwork on rappers, made a video on Kodak where he shows official court paperwork that seems to confirm the rumors that Kodak had something to do with what happened to the Wizard. The paperwork that 1090 Jake shows states that the police recovered a conversation between the suspect and another individual where they were talking about Kodak Black placing a $20,000 bounty on the Wizard's head. But what we're going to do is we're going to look at the paperwork. And I'm not just going to show y'all the paperwork. I'm going to show y'all how to find the paperwork. And we'll read through it together, because these are some serious allegations. I don't want you thinking I'm making this up. This is on the actual court site, leading from a police investigation. So, this is the Broward County Clerk of Court's website. And this right here is Sigmund Brown's case. Count 17. Sig was charged with accessory after the fact with a gang enhancement alleging he assisted Trayvon Key to avoid arrest after the murder of Wisdom Williams, aka the Wizard. This is a first-degree felony punishable by up to life. On the morning of September 17, 2021, the body of Wisdom Williams, aka the Wizard, was discovered in the front yard of a home in Hollandale Beach. Mr. Williams was a documented member of the Zone 10 gang and was being investigated by detectives of the BSO Gang Task Force. Evidence suggests Williams was transported to the area in a gray Charger, where his body was left in a yard in Hollandale. The gray Charger was later discovered to have been intentionally burned in a parking lot of a residential area in North Lauderdale. On August 3, 2021, Liberia Sig's phone communicated with Denzel Sannon via telegram, indicating Kodak Black had offered the Grand Mafia $20,000 for the murder of Wisdom Williams. Let me read this again. On August 3, 2021, Liberia Sig's phone communicated with Denzel Sannon via telegram, indicating Kodak Black offered the Grand Mafia $20,000 for the murder of Wisdom Williams. Even if true, this is hardly evidence Brown was paid any money for assisting in the homicide or helping HMT Trey avoid arrest. Let me break this down. For one, for all you internet detectives, Kodak Black, yeah, they write all the time on real paperwork. That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean it's any less legit. We're literally on the website from the Broward County Clerk. This is real paperwork right now. This says, even if true, this is hardly evidence Brown was paid any money for assisting the homicide or helping Key avoid arrest. This is written by Liberia Sig's lawyer. This is basically his motion to get him a bond. So he's saying, look, y'all found a text saying from this guy that, Kodak was offering $20K to get this dude killed, but that doesn't mean my client was ever paid for the murder that happened or had any assist in the murder. So he is not clearing Kodak Black's face. He's clearing his client, saying, look, he might have got off of money, but that doesn't mean he was ever paid. Well, this is where it's sticky. If they investigate Kodak, even if no money was paid, that's still a conspiracy to commit murder by offering to pay money for a body. This can get very deep. As you heard for yourself, the authorities themselves saw a conversation that would indicate Kodak placed a bounty on his wizard's head. Think about that. Just a few months after Kodak got pardoned, he allegedly paid to get his own close friend taken out. He then makes a song claiming that he did it as well. Now, if you remember in the video Righteous Rappers, Kodak was seen alongside was a Wizard and Wham. Well, the same thing that happened to Wiz, the Wizard seems to have happened to Wham as well. After Wiz the Wizard died, Wham started beefing with Kodak, as Wiz was his cousin. And just a few months back in August, Wham was also eliminated. Now, searching for the shooter who gunned down a man in Helena Beach. And we've learned that victim was a local rapper. Local T's Rashlow has the latest now from that scene. We saw Hollandale Beach police out here throughout the day investigating, trying to solve this case where a young man, 25 years old, had his life taken. According to witnesses, he was a rapper. We did look into his history. He has been arrested in the past. But police say this is very much an ongoing investigation. Hollandale Beach police still on the scene Friday morning searching for clues, going door to door trying to solve a murder. Bullets flying Thursday night. And this guy says bullets hit his house. All happened on the 500 block of Northwest 6th Avenue. 25-year-old Brandon Whamley was transported to a nearby hospital. He passed away. Witnesses say the victim is a rapper known as Wham Spin the Bin. And again, people believe Kodak might have been involved. Now, obviously, Kodak didn't make it to a level where he would get a pardon from the president for free. We know what it costs to be at that level. Kodak has truly done some evil things. And this is what people are supporting when they support Kodak. A man who is willing to sacrifice his own artist and then brag about it in his music. You can clearly see who guided Kodak in his pursuit of fame and success. And it wasn't God. The man filled his videos with demonic imagery because this is who he truly was. In the last few years, Kodak seemed to be falling apart, always appearing strung out and barely functioning. He seems to be drowning out the guilt of what he did to his own people. Now he's just another soulless rapper, leading the blind to a burning end. It seems that Kodak got rid of his artist, possibly sacrificed him to continue his success. Well, I'm going to end this one here. I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.